Welcome back to In Their Boots. With us now is this week's expert, Dr. April Groff. She's a neuropsychologist out of the Palo Alto VA. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now to get right into it, can you explain to us exactly what a traumatic brain injury is?
A traumatic brain injury occurs anytime that there is sudden trauma that causes damage to the brain. A closed head injury is an injury that's the result of a very strong force wave that moves through the brain and does not end up with shrapnel or any kind of penetration to the skull or the brain tissue itself.
How do people know when they have a traumatic brain injury?
Typically, a mild TBI is said to have occurred when one of the following things happens: that a person is exposed to a blast or some kind of force, and they experience either a period of unconsciousness. They experience loss of memory for the events immediately or before the accident. They may experience some alteration in mental state that doesn't quite meet unconsciousness, but maybe they're dazed, confused, disoriented. And if the person lost consciousness for less than 30 minutes, that's considered to be a mild traumatic brain injury. And typically, for a lot of people, those symptoms go away rather quickly. For a proportion of those individuals, 1 to 3 weeks after an incident like that, which we would actually call a concussion. Okay, so we refer to mild TBIs as concussions. A minority of those individuals will go on to experience another set of symptoms, which we refer to as post-concussive syndrome. All right, and some of those symptoms include problems with attention, memory, difficulties concentrating, becoming easily fatigued, problems with sleep, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, feeling irritable or aggressive without being able to really pinpoint the source. A lot of folks will have anxiety, depression, apathy, lack of spontaneity, and many people feel like their personality has changed, that they're just not the way they were before.
Can you talk about how they can be treated and then even from that cured?
There definitely is treatment for mild TBI. The exact nature of that treatment really depends on the particular symptoms that a person is experiencing. As I mentioned before, about 20% of individuals who have experienced a mild TBI will continue to have symptoms for months or years afterwards. But for the majority of folks, symptoms will resolve within the first 3 months. However, if a person suspects that they maybe have a mild TBI, the very first step would be to discuss that with the primary care provider. And oftentimes, especially if they have access to treatment at military treatment facilities or at the VA, we have outpatient evaluation clinics where folks can come in and they can receive a very comprehensive evaluation that is conducted by a physiatrist who's a physical medicine specialist, a neuropsychologist, an occupational therapist, a speech therapist, a physical therapist, I think I mentioned already. But it's a very comprehensive evaluation that's done for these individuals. And part of the reason that we do that is so that we can identify exactly what symptoms they're having and also to try to identify the best way for us to move forward with treatment.
Now, doctor, from all this, is there anything that the community can do to help out service members in a situation like this with a traumatic brain injury?
Well, one thing that we do know about recovery from brain injury is that social support is one of the most predictive factors for positive outcomes. I also, too, think that families of loved ones who have experienced a brain injury also need support groups, and they need some respite and a place to actually get support themselves so that they can in turn be fully effective as a caregiver. So I think that folks in the community really just becoming educated and maybe organizing to help provide support groups for family members who maybe don't have access to the same kind of treatment that the service member or veteran does have would be a great place to start.
Well, Doctor, we want to thank you for being a part of the show today, for passing on the knowledge that you have and clarifying what many times is a very clouded issue. It can seem complicated to those who are figuring out whether they are affected or not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. We encourage you to check out the Solutions tab on our website. There you can find links to numerous organizations and groups that are in place to help servicemen and women and their families. And while you're there, check out the video archive and use these clips to email to friends and family or local media, anyone you think might benefit. But now, we're going to share with you a preview from next week's Real Story, Beyond Basic Training. Here it is.
I don't remember the explosion. I remember the smell, and I remember seeing everything different. You know, I'm hurt pretty bad, I figured. We heard about a great company sponsoring wounded warriors and allowing us to live here for free, fully furnished. No, $800 for a family of 3. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money. It's kind of rough, actually.
My biggest fear, I'd have to say, is the fact that if he doesn't get a job, where will he be at?
Right now I'm currently looking for a job. The San Antonio Police Department is now hiring. So we are going to go there tomorrow morning and try to apply with my DD-214. I'm putting all my money on the police academy. They pay what I need to get paid, and the work's exactly what I need. So, you know, it's been difficult as far as adjusting to normal life, but you know, I got to do it sometimes. So.
At In Their Boots, we like to hear from our viewers. So if you have any suggestions or comments, post them to our website. And if it's questions you've got, get them sent our way to question@intheirboots.com, and we'll do our best to get them answered on upcoming webcast. That's it for this week. We'll see you back here next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, take care.
He was actually here for the entire pregnancy as well as the first year of life, which was the longest he'd had been home. And that was really, really nice because he got to experience it all and get to go through all of that. And that was a blessing because on number 3, he wasn't supposed to be here. So at least he was able to. I was pregnant when he deployed the 3rd time, but then he ended up being medevaced home. My son is just about 21 months old, and his name is Devlin. It's definitely different than a quote-unquote normal marriage. It would definitely be classified as something different.